I happened to be at a Dairy Queen last week, and I was just looking at the price list because I knew how much money I had, and I wanted to see that I had enough for what I wanted. It's like Blizzard treat or ice cream cone, you know, because I'm not there all that often. The Dairy Queen near my workplace. And there was an idiot that wanted to remind me that the place wasn't open yet. I'm aware. That's why I was looking at the price list so I wasn't holding up the line. It's the same reason why people go to car dealers on Sunday when they're closed, because they get a better look at everything without somebody hassling or haggling them. It reminds me of that insurance company commercial, Progressive, Dr. Rick or something like that. It's a series. Where I say, yay, they're finally thinking my way. Where there's this one scene at a hardware store, and then he says to his client, did he ask for your help? Yes. People think I need help all the time when I don't. As the saying goes, it's been on bumper stickers, not all who wander are lost. When I want your help, I'll ask for it. Well, how I roll is history museums, because that was my major at the University of Iowa. So that explains the next two stories I have. One of them was a Zoom lecture from a little over a week ago through the State Historic Society. The building is not far from here. And it was the first in their lecture series for this season. It was about the smallpox epidemic during the American Revolution. And yes, I know Ski had said before, there are more pleasant subjects than AIDS. Well, that's probably true with smallpox as well. But we live in a pandemic, and some of the things that happened then are relevant to now. So there we go. And we can hope that, like smallpox, eventually it won't be as big of a deal as it is right now. So I'll probably do another one of those lectures. What I like about Zoom lectures is I don't have to pay a parking fee. And if I want to wear PJs while I'm tuning into the lecture, I can. And no competition with the kitchen and bathroom either. That's also how I felt about working from home as a test scorer before I started working at the bank. And then the other history thing, I did that earlier today. I went to a library at the U of M because they had an exhibit about the YMCA during the First World War. And, well, as usual, as we seek, so shall we find. And I learned something. After the war ended, they had an Olympic-style athletic event for military personnel at a stadium in Paris named for General Pershing. And it's like, why wasn't that in the history books that I read? Oh, because it's the same reason why many other things weren't. It's all about who's writing the history. But I'll have to look that up more, because that was cool to find that out. I mean, yeah, I know the YMCA has been around for a while. Personally, I know it as the place where I learned to swim and where I played basketball as a kid. I wasn't that good, but I know it's still a relevant thing in many neighborhoods and cities. Don't know as much about the YWCA. I know that women can still go to the YMCA. Yeah, that happened. And then when I was having lunch today, I had a bag of Doritos chips. And it was a little off-putting because I saw a human skull on it, because this bag of chips was promoting Call of Duty. I don't know Call of Duty, but I ate the chips anyway because I bought them, and I know that they use products like this all the time to promote shows. I mean, I bought cereal because it was promoting the movie Ghostbusters, which isn't out yet, or the movie Space Jam, which I have seen. So yes, I'm quite familiar with product placement and advertising and such, and the way it's been used. I could probably write a book about that, about the history of sponsorship. There was that. And then weekend, well, I guess that was about two other things in particular for me. I'm still doing the Redbox rentals because it's a lot easier than going to the movie theater where people might be rude and talk during the movie. Redbox rentals are way cheaper and closer. And the one I saw was American Boogie Woman. It was a companion movie to one I'd already seen called American Boogeyman about Ted Bundy. And this was also about a serial killer, but of course a lady serial killer I hadn't heard of, Aileen Wuornos. It's like, well, now I guess that means find a Charlize Theron movie called Monster, which I guess is about the same serial killer. I have to go onto Amazon for that. They seem to have just about everything. I don't know why I didn't see that before, but I know I don't see every movie that's at theaters. You have to be picky because you only have so much time and money. And then the other notable thing was, I know that I've had to explain what Booyahs are to people who don't live in this area. It's like, no, it's not saying Booyah. It's soup. Very thick vegetable beef soup. And I went to one of those Booyahs this weekend at a Catholic church. And I was thrilled because they had bread with it. And because some Booyahs, that's all you get is the cup of soup. And it's like, okay. It's always thrilling when you get a little extra with things that you weren't expecting. Oh, and butter with the bread too. I mean, it'd be bland if you didn't have butter or something else. And then at work, I watched a lecture, or listened to a lecture about trying to connect with the executives. It said, don't try too hard to be funny. Yeah, I think that works with most people, not just executives. Because I say to people all the time, you're trying too hard, and they don't impress me, is, you're trying too hard. Well, that'll do it for me. Thank you. You've all been great. Woo!